Hi guys, it's Marty here from letsbuildwp.com, and in this video I'm going to show you how to build a simple WordPress website, step by step, and in a way that anyone should be able to follow. You don't need to have any previous design skills, we won't be using any complicated coding, and it's only going to take us about 60 minutes to complete. But rather than just talking about it, let's take a look at the actual website we're going to be building today. So this is the exact website we're going to be building. I'm going to show you how to add a logo here at the top and how to change the site colors. Then we'll create our different pages, which we can add to our menu here at the top. And these pages will have text, images, and anything else we might need. Then we'll also add a contact form to one of our pages, so our visitors can send us a message if they need to. Then we're going to change the WordPress sidebar, which is this part that runs down the right hand side of our pages. And we can add things like images, text, and links to our different content. This website's also going to be 100% mobile friendly, which means it's going to look amazing on any device. So if I just make this window a little smaller, we can see what our website will look like on a tablet. And then if I make it a little smaller again, we'll see what it's going to look like when being viewed on a mobile phone. Now, you're probably not going to be building a website about coffee like my example site, but don't worry, this will work for almost any kind of business or website you might need. So here's the same website with different images and branding to give you an idea of what I mean. And as you can see, the website's pretty much always going to look great. So if you're ready to get started, this is how to build a simple WordPress website, step by step. Okay, so I put together a quick outline of what we're going to do today to get your website up and running in less than 60 minutes. So the first thing we're going to do is register a domain name and set up web hosting for our website. And I'll just quickly explain what these are for anyone who doesn't know. So a domain name is usually the title of a website or business with www before it and .com after it. And it's what we type into our internet browser to visit a specific site. So for example, Google's domain name is www.google.com. Then web hosting is basically where the different files that make up our website will be stored online, so people can gain access to our site even when our own computer's switched off. Then once we have our domain name and web hosting, we can move on to the next step, which is installing WordPress. And this is what we'll be using to build our website. WordPress is only going to take a few minutes to install, and as it's open source software, it's also 100% free for us to use. Then once we have WordPress installed, we're going to be installing and customizing a WordPress theme, which will change the entire look of our site and make it more like the custom website we're trying to build. Then once we have our theme looking good, we can move on to the fourth step, which is adding the main pages that'll make up our website. We can create as many pages as we like, and our pages will have text, larger text headings, and images. And then the last thing we'll cover is how to add a contact form to our website so our visitors can get in contact with us. Now, I will also cover a few other bits and pieces as we go along, but these really are the main steps to building a WordPress website. So the first thing we need to do is register a domain name and set up web hosting for our website. Lucky for us, we can get both of these things at the same place, which is a website called HostGator.com. This is a company I've been using for years now without any problems. They're a great low-cost hosting company, which is exactly what we want. So we just need to open up our internet browser and go to HostGator.com. Or alternatively, you can click the link in the video description below, and that's going to open it up in a new tab. But either way, once we get here, we're going to hover over hosting at the top and click shared hosting. And this is going to show us the 3 different hosting plans that HostGator offer. Now, to be totally honest with you, the business plan comes with a whole load of added extras you're probably not going to need when just getting started, which really just leaves it between the hatchling plan and the baby plan. And the only real difference between these 2 plans is the amount of websites we can have on each one. So with the hatchling plan, we can have one single website, and with the baby plan, we can have as many websites as we like. So as I'm just doing this for the tutorial, I'm going to go for the hatchling plan. And once we've decided on which plan we're going to go for, we can just click Buy Now underneath. That's going to bring us here, and this is where we're going to register the domain name for our new website. So we just need to type our domain we're wanting to register into this box at the top. And for my example, I'm going to type a website about coffee. And then on the right, we can choose our domain extension. And I'm going to choose .com, which means the domain name I'm registering in this example is a website about coffee.com. Then as long as the domain's available, it's going to say primary domain here. But if it comes up and says the domain is not available, unfortunately we'll need to choose something else. Then as long as the domain we want is available, we can scroll down to where it says Domain Privacy Protection. This is an optional add-on, and I normally just uncheck this box myself and haven't had any problems. But if you're trying to keep your website anonymous, just leave this box checked and it'll be added to your bill. Then underneath it says choose a hosting plan, and here we just want to check that our package type is correct and choose a billing cycle. In this example, I went for the hatchling plan, so this is correct. And then here on the right, we can choose how often we'd like to pay for our hosting. Now, this is going to depend on how much money you have to spend on your website, but I would recommend setting this to 12 months or higher if you can. And not only because there's a great discount compared to monthly billing, but we also get our domain name for free if we go for 12 months or more up front. So it really is something to think about. And with that being said, I'm going to set mine to 12 months. Then once we're done here, we can scroll down. And here we're just going to enter our email address and choose a password and security PIN for our account. And then under this, we can enter our personal billing information, so things like our name and address. And on the right, we can choose how we'd like to pay for our order, and we can choose either credit or debit card or PayPal. Then once we're done, we can scroll down, and here we'll see it says add additional services. And these are just some added extras that HostGator offer. I normally just uncheck these boxes myself, but you can have a read through them, and if you want any of them, just check the box and they'll be added to your bill. Then once we're done here, if we scroll down, we'll see it says enter a coupon code. Now, there might already be a coupon entered in here, worth 20 or 25% off, but if we delete this, and instead type in Let's Build WP, when we click Validate, and scroll down, we'll see that the price is now even cheaper, and we're getting both our web hosting and domain name for less than $40. And remember that this is for the full year, and these are the only things we need to pay for. Which means this website is going to cost us less than $3.50 a month, which is awesome. Now, before we continue, I'd just like to quickly mention that I'll receive a small commission from HostGator if you make a purchase through my link or using my coupon code. This won't cost you anything extra, and it means I can continue making these tutorials for free. So thank you in advance if you use my coupon, and even if you don't, I'd still highly recommend using HostGator for your website. But anyway, let's get back to the tutorial. So here at the bottom, we just want to double check our order's correct. And if we look here on the left, we'll see they offer 24/7 phone, live chat and email support. And they have a 45-day money-back guarantee, just in case we change our mind. Then once we're happy with everything here, we just need to check this box at the bottom to agree to their terms, and then click Checkout Now. So I'm just going to pause this video while I fill out my personal information above, and then I'll restart it again. So if you're following along at home, just pause this video while you're paying for your order, and then come back and press play, and we'll carry on building your website together. Okay, so that's me now back, and when I finished paying for my order, I was brought to a page saying thank you, and then I was redirected to the home page. So if you're following along at home, at this point we can close out of HostGator, and instead we want to open up our email inbox, where we should find some new emails from HostGator. These emails contain some pretty important information, so we should keep them safe. But for now, we're going to click into the email that says Your Account Info. And in this email, we'll see we have a link to our control panel, which is also known as the cPanel, our username and password for logging in, and some other information about our account. Here we're going to click the link to our control panel, which is going to open up the cPanel login screen in a new tab. And now we just need to copy and paste our username and password from this email into the cPanel login screen. Then once we've got them pasted in, we can click Login. And this is us going to be logging into the HostGator cPanel, which is where we'll be installing WordPress. Now, this might seem a little overwhelming at first, but it's actually pretty easy. All we need to do is scroll down to where it says Software, and then click WordPress Manager. Then we need to click Install, and this is going to open up the WordPress setup screen. Then here on the right, we just want to make sure this first box says HTTPS and that our new domain name is selected in the box beside it. Then under this, we can change our site title and tagline using these two boxes. So I'm going to type Coffee Website as my site title. And then for my tagline, I'm going to put a website all about coffee. Although don't worry about these too much for now, as we can always change them again later. Then under this we can create the username and password we want for logging into our site. And then we can update our email address under this. Then once we're done here, we can change the language of our site if we need to, but I'm going to leave mine as it is. Then we're going to skip over the optional plugins and themes they offer, as we're going to be installing these later. And then finally, we just need to click Install at the bottom, and HostGator will start installing WordPress. This will usually take less than a minute, and once it's finished, it'll say congratulations, the software was installed. At this point, we can click the link beside where it says admin URL, which will open up the WordPress dashboard in a new tab. And this is where we can add any content or make any changes to our new WordPress website, which by the way is now live online. All we need to do to visit our new site is click our site title in the top left, and that's going to show us what WordPress looks like when we first install it. Now, sometimes they change up the default theme, so even if you didn't choose one during the installation, yours might look a little different than mine. But either way, it's just going to have some demo content and not much else. And the first thing we're going to do, now we have WordPress installed, is delete this demo content. To do this, we just need to click our site title in the top left to go back to the dashboard. And then if we click where it says Pages on the left, this is going to show us any pages we have on our website, which at the moment is just a few demo pages. Then to delete a page, we just need to hover our mouse over the page title and then click Trash. Then we're just going to delete the other one in the same way, so we're just going to hover our mouse over it and click Trash. Then once we're done here, we're going to delete our demo blog post, and to do this we just need to click Posts on the left instead of Pages. This is going to show us any blog posts we have on our site, which at the moment is just this Hello World demo post. And we can delete this in the same way as we did with our pages. We just need to hover our mouse over the post title and then click Trash. Then once we're done here, we're going to remove some demo plugins, and to do this we can click Plugins on the left, then scroll down a little, and this will show us any plugins we have installed on our site. And for reference, plugins are basically like extensions or add-ons for WordPress that allow us to add extra functionality to our website that WordPress doesn't come with by default. So for an example, this would be things like contact forms and social share buttons. We're going to come back and cover how to use plugins later on in this tutorial, but for now we're just going to remove the ones that came pre-installed. And to do this, we simply check the box at the top to select all of the plugins in the list. Then we're going to change this drop-down menu to Deactivate and click Apply. Then once the plugins have been deactivated, we're going to delete them in basically the same way. So we just need to check the box at the top to select them all again. Then we're going to change the drop-down menu to Delete and click Apply. It's going to ask us if we're sure, and we just need to click OK. At this point, WordPress will delete all of the plugins from our site completely. And now that we've deleted the demo content, the next thing we're going to do is change our WordPress theme, and this is going to change the entire look of our site and make it more like the custom website we're trying to build. So to install a theme on WordPress, we just need to click Appearance in our left dashboard menu, and this will show us any themes we have installed. And as we can see, I'm currently using a theme called 2021, as it's the one that says active. Now, we can activate one of these other themes if we like, by hovering our mouse over it and clicking Activate. But we're going to be installing a much nicer theme. To do this, we just need to click Add New at the top. And this will show us a bunch of different free themes that WordPress have to offer. And we can filter through these themes at the top by Featured, Popular, and Latest. Or if we already know the name of a specific theme we're wanting to install, we can type it into the search bar in the top right. And for this website, we're going to be using an awesome theme called Primer. So we just need to type the word Primer into this search bar in the top right. And then when it shows up, we need to hover our mouse over the Primer theme and click Install. It'll only take a few seconds to install, and once it's done, we can click Activate. Once our theme is active, if we click our site title in the top left to visit our site, we'll see that our theme has been updated and our website's already starting to look much better. Then once we're happy with the theme we've installed, we can start to customize it. But just quickly before that, if you're enjoying the tutorials so far, please be sure to give this video a like here on YouTube to show your support. This helps get YouTube to promote my channel to more people, and I'd really appreciate it if you could. But anyway, let's get back to this. So to start customizing our theme, we simply need to click where it says Customize at the top. This is going to open up our different theme options on the left, and then we'll see a live preview of our website on the right. Then if we click into the first option on the left, which is Site Identity, here we have the option to change our site title and tagline if we want to. So if I change my site title here on the left, we'll see that it updates right away in the live preview on the right. Then we can do the same thing for our tagline, which is the line of text that appears underneath our site title. So I'm just going to quickly type something in here on the left. And once again, we'll see it updates in real time on the right. Then if we have a logo we'd like to use instead, we can click Select Logo on the left at the top. Then we're going to click Select Files in the middle and search for the image on our computer. When we find it, we just need to click on it and click Open. And once the image has been uploaded, we can click Select in the bottom right. Then we can either crop our image or click Skip Cropping. And when we do this, we'll see that our logo now appears at the top of our website. Then if we want to hide our site title and tagline when we're using a logo, we just need to uncheck this box on the left labeled Display Site Title and Tagline. And when we do this, we'll see that they disappear on the right. Then under this on the left, we'll see it says Footer Copyright Text. And if we look on the right, the copyright text is this line of text that appears at the bottom of our site. And to change what it says, we just need to change the text in this box on the left. And we'll see it updates in real time on the right. Then beside our copyright text, we also have this link to GoDaddy, and these are the people who made the theme we're using. But if we want to get rid of this link, we can simply uncheck the box on the left labeled Display Theme Author Credit, and that's going to remove it. Then once we're done here, we can click Publish at the top to save our changes, and then click the back pointing arrow in the top left to go back to the list of options. Then the next option we're going to click into on the left is Menus, and then click Create New Menu. Now we need to give our menu a name, and I'm going to type Main Menu. Then under Menu Locations, we're going to check the box beside Primary Menu, and then click Next. Then we're going to click the Add Items button, and this is where we can create the main pages we want in our menu. All we need to do is type the names of any pages we want to create into the box that says Add New Page. And then we can click the Add button to create it. Now the pages we add are going to depend on the type of website we're creating, and you can create whatever pages you like. But for my example, I'm going to add a page called Home, which will be the first page people land on when they visit my site, an About page called About Us, a contact page called Contact Us, and as my example site is about coffee, I'm going to add one more called Types of Coffee. Then, as we can see, when we add our pages, they'll be added to this list on the far left, and this list represents our menu. Then, if we want to change the order of our menu, we just need to click Reorder, and then we can change the order of this list using the up and down arrows, with anything we put at the top of this list appearing at the start of our menu, and anything we put at the bottom appearing at the end. So for my example, I'm going to keep my home page at the top, as I want it at the start of my menu, Then I want my coffee page under this. And I'm just going to keep the last two as they are. Then once we're happy with the order of our menu, we can click Done. And at this point, if we look to the right, we'll see that our menu now appears at the top of our site and in the correct order. We can click into these pages if we like, which are blank at the moment, but we'll be adding some content to them soon. Then once we're done creating our menu, we can click Publish at the top to save our changes. Then click the back pointing arrow to go back, and then click it once more to get back to the main options. Then the next thing we're going to click into here on the left is widgets. Then if we click sidebar, this is where we can change the sidebar, which is this part that runs down the right hand side of our website. And we'll see these different sections on the left match up with the different blocks in our sidebar on the right. So on the left we have search, recent posts, and recent comments. And then on the right, we have this search bar and recent comments. Now the recent posts block isn't here, but that's only because we don't have any blog posts. And the first thing we're going to do here is remove everything from the sidebar so we can start from scratch. And to do this, we just need to click on each of the sections on the left to open up their options, and then click Remove. And when we do this, we'll see the block disappears from our sidebar on the right. And then we just need to delete the other two in the same way. And once we're done, we'll see our sidebar is completely empty on the right. Now we're going to start adding some new blocks, and to do this we need to click where it says Add a widget on the left, which is going to show us the different widgets we can add to our sidebar. So say for example we wanted to add some text about our website in our sidebar. We just need to scroll down to the bottom of this list and click on the text widget. And that's going to add it to this list on the left. Now we can type our title into this first box. And some more text into the larger box underneath. And when we do this, we'll see it now appears in our sidebar on the right. Then we just need to click Done on the left at the bottom. And then we can move on to the next one. So say for another example, we wanted to add an image to our sidebar. We can click where it says Add a widget on the left. Then we're going to find the image widget in this list and click on it. And that's going to add it to our list on the left. Now we can give it a title if we like, but I'm going to leave this blank. Then under this we can click Add Image. Then click Upload Files at the top. Select Files in the middle. And then we're going to search for the image on our computer. When we find the image, we just need to click on it and click Open. And then once it's been uploaded, we can click Add to Widget in the bottom right. And when we do this, we'll see that the image now appears at the bottom of our sidebar. Then we just need to click Done on the left at the bottom to close out of the image options. And then we can move on to the next one. So say for one last example, we wanted to add a list of our different pages to our sidebar. We simply need to click Add a Widget again on the left. Then we're going to find the Pages widget in this list and click on it. Then we can give it a title if we like at the top. And for mine, I'm going to type Main Pages. Then under this we can choose the order of our pages. And once we're done, we'll see that the links to our different pages now appear in our sidebar. Then we just need to click Done on the left at the bottom, and we're done. Now we can change the order of our sidebar if we like, and to do this, we just need to click where it says Reorder on the left. And then we can change the order using the up and down arrows. So for this example, I'm going to move my image to the top, and then put my list of pages in the middle. And when I do this, we'll see they update on the right. Then we just need to click Done on the left at the bottom, and we're done. Then once we're happy with our sidebar, we can click Publish at the top to save our changes. Then we're going to click the back pointing arrow to go back, and then click it once more to get back to the main options. Then the next thing we're going to do here is click into Home Page Settings on the left, and this is where we can assign our home page. All we need to do is choose a static page at the top. Then under Home Page, we're going to select our page called Home. And now WordPress is going to show this page as our home page, instead of it just saying nothing found like it did before. Now we can click Publish at the top to save our changes, and then click the back pointing arrow to go back. Now we're going to come back here and change our website colors soon, but for now we're just going to click the X in the top left to close the theme options. And at this point we'll see that all of our changes are now published on our site. So we have our logo at the top, our sidebars looking great, and we have our different pages in our menu. And the next thing we're going to do is add some content to these pages. To do this, we just want to visit the page we're wanting to add content to, which for me is going to be my home page. Then we can click Edit Page at the top, and this is going to open up the WordPress page editor, which is pretty straightforward. So we can change the title of our page here at the top if we like, but I'm going to leave mine as it is. Then if we click into the box underneath, we can just start to type any text we want on our page. But to save some time in this tutorial, I'm just going to delete this and instead paste in some text I already have copied. Then if we have any subheadings in our page, like I do here, we just need to click into that line of text, then click this symbol on the left that looks like a backwards P, and then choose Heading. And we'll see that our text changes size in the editor. Then we can also add images to our pages as well, and to do this, we just need to take a new line, wherever we want the image to appear, and then click the plus symbol to the right. Then we're going to choose Image, which is going to add the image block to our page. Now we need to click Upload in the middle, and then search for the image on our computer. When we find the image we're wanting to use, we can click on it and click Open. And then once it's uploaded, we'll see our image now appears in the editor. Then if at any point we want to see how our page is looking so far, we can click where it says Preview in the top right, then click Preview in New tab, and this will open up a live preview of our page in a new tab. Now I'm just doing this all quickly to show you how it's done, so your pages will probably look a lot better than mine. But hopefully you're beginning to see just how easy WordPress is to use. Then once we're happy with our page, we can close out of the preview. Then we just need to click Update in the top right to save our changes. And then if we click View Page in the bottom left, we'll see that our changes are now live. And now that we know how it's done, we can repeat the process for any other pages we have. So for me, this is my page called Types of Coffee. My About page. And my Contact page. And I only added a little bit of text to my contact page, as we're going to be adding a contact form to it soon. But before we do that, we're going to update our website's colors. To do this, we just need to click Customize at the top to open up our theme options again. Then we're going to click into Colors on the left. And this is where we can change our different site colors. So if we click into Color Schemes at the top, here we can change the main color scheme of our site using this drop-down list. And if we click through a few of these, we'll see our main site colors update on the right. Now, personally, I think the default color scheme goes best with my logo, so I'm going to leave mine on default. But you can pick whatever one you like best. Then, once we choose a color scheme we like, we can click the back pointing arrow, and then we can change each of the individual colors by clicking into these different options on the left. So if we click into Header, for example, here we can change the background color of the top of our website using this second option called Hero Background. So we just need to click Select Color, and then choose the color we're wanting to use. And we'll see that this updates in real time on the right. And if we want to go back to the original color, we just need to click the default button. Then once we're done here, we can click the back pointing arrow to go back. And then we can use the same steps to change the rest of our site's colors. But to save some time in this tutorial, I'm just going to leave the rest of my colors as they are. Then once we're done with our colors, we can click Publish at the top to save our changes. And then we can click the X in the top left to close out of the theme options. And at this point we'll see that any colors we changed have been updated. And now that we've covered how to change our site colors, the last thing we need to do is add a contact form to our website. Now, WordPress doesn't come with an option to add contact forms by default, so we're going to be installing a free plugin. To do this, we just need to click our site title at the top to visit our dashboard. Then we're going to hover over where it says Plugins on the left and click Add New. Now we just need to type WP Forms into the search bar in the top right. And then install the plugin called Contact Form by WP Forms. It's only going to take a few seconds to install, and once it's done we can click Activate. Now, one of the awesome things about the WP Forms plugin is that it comes with a form already created for us. And to use this form, we just need to hover over where it now says WP Forms in our left dashboard menu, and then click Add New. Then here at the top we can give our form a name, and this is just for our own reference. Then underneath we're going to hover our mouse over Simple Contact Form and click Create. This is going to load up a preview of the form, and as we can see, this form's going to ask for the user's name, their email address, and their message, which is going to work for most types of website. Then to add this form to our site, we just need to click where it says Embed in the top right, which is going to bring up this pop-up. And at the bottom of this pop-up, it says you can also embed your form manually or use a shortcode. And we're going to click where it says Use a shortcode. Now we're going to highlight, right-click and copy this line of text, and this is what we'll use to add the form to our website. Then once we've got our shortcode copied, we can close out of this pop-up and then click the X in the top right to close the form builder. Now we just need to visit our website by clicking our site title at the top, and then we can visit the page we're wanting to add our form to, which for me is going to be my contact page. Then once we get here, we can click Edit Page at the top to open up the editor, and now we just need to paste our shortcode wherever on the page we're wanting our form to appear, and I'm going to put mine at the bottom. And when we paste in our shortcode, it'll automatically change to the shortcode block that represents our form. Then once we're done, we can click Update in the top right to save our changes, and then click View Page in the bottom left. And at this point, we'll see that the contact form is now live on our site. And just to show that it works, if I fill out my name and my email address, type a quick message, and click Submit, when I open up my email inbox, we'll see that I've received the message as an email. And that's us now at the end of this tutorial, which means you just built your very own WordPress website. So we have our logo at the top, and we're using whatever custom colors we chose. Then we have our menu with our different pages, like our home page and our about page. Then we also have our contact form, so our visitors can send us a message. Our sidebar's looking awesome. And without us needing to do anything extra, our website's also 100% mobile friendly. So if we just resize the window in our internet browser, we'll see that all of our content resizes and moves around so it looks the best it possibly can on any screen. I really hope that you love your new website and that you found this video helpful. If you did, please give it a like here on YouTube to show your support, and consider subscribing to the channel for more WordPress tutorials like this one in future. And if you have any questions at all about any part of the process, just leave them as a comment underneath and I'll try my best to help out. And then finally, there should be a link to a playlist on screen now that'll show you a bunch of other cool things you can do with your new WordPress website. Once again, my name's Marty from letsbuildwp.com, and thank you very much for watching my video.